Yeah, I've just been talking to Gary Stretch on the phone. Me and him go back a long way, you know. It's so nice to talk to Gary Stretch. He's done me a good write-up for my book as well. He's a gentleman, mate. He really, really is a gentleman. And the thing, me and him used to be so close. I was to be his bodyguard, and it was a privilege, you know what I mean? All the clubs used to go to, everybody respected me, respected him. No one took liberties. The people that did take liberties, they got a clump. And Gary was just saying on his write-up about the time he took them three guys into the toilet or followed them into the toilet and bashed them up. And I come in and done and dealt with it later. But you know, there's a few things me and Gary done together that we don't really talk about. We've done some terrible things, me and Gary Stretch. But you know, like when he was fighting Eubanks, and we used to go out to dinner and all that. And Gary didn't look like a fighter. No one thought that Gary Stretch was a boxer. No one ever thought that was Gary Stretch, because he looked like he's so good looking and such a great model. You know what I mean? But and like, everybody respected him. He's never ever flash. Him and his brother, like two doubles, never flash, never caused no problems. But any problems that come, he would go for it. Yeah. But I was there to make sure that he didn't. Yeah. And to make sure that any trouble he got into, I was with him 110%. You know, anything. I mean, things happen. Things has happened before or after when I wasn't around him. It's different. You know what I mean? But if I'd have been with him at certain places that people that took liberties with him, I'd been with him 100%, mate. I don't know about that. We had I'm right about 10 people, 20 people. If you can only, you know, you're only going to get hurt. So steam in. Do you know what I mean? That's what I used to think. Just steam in. But most of the times, when we used to go to clubs and people used to try and take liberties with Gary Stretch, I'd be there, yeah. And I'd only have to do it once or twice, mate, and it's all over. You know, you got a further people, you get 8 or 9 people there, right, and you go for the one with all the mouth, and you bust him up, mate. You really bust him up. You hit him so hard, he doesn't know what day it is. You know, 9 times out of 10, when I used to hit them, I used to break their jaw or something like that, break their jaw, smash their nose to pieces, you know, or split the jaw, come out the side of their face. You think I'm joking? I used to hit that hard, mate. I could laugh at it. That's a gift I had, you know, to it. When I whack them, mate, they go. You know what I mean? They go. If I hit you on the chin, you're in trouble. That chin's you're going to come out the side of it's going to come out the side of your face. Don't worry about that, because I'll smash it. I just smashed the jaw. And I loved it, you know what I mean? Didn't like fighting, but I liked being around Gary Stretch, all them people that I was around, you know what I mean? Going into the club for Denzi's, Pal Joey's, and going downstairs to Pedenz's, going down to the old club I used to walk down the stairs to, all pitch black. It was lovely in there, good atmosphere, everybody dancing, everybody enjoying themselves, you know what I mean? Now what's it like now? I don't know. I haven't been out for a long, long time. So Gary's coming to this country very soon. Me and him are going to have a couple of 3 days together. So I've got to get myself a nice bit of stuff, a few bits and pieces, look smart, and go out and have a good time with him, you know. And he was a mate. He was a good mate, as well as being a governor to me, as well as, you know, he didn't pay me. My mate Mickey paid me. My mate Mickey was the one. He was the one that gave me the money for Gary. You know, no one really mucked about with Mickey anyway, because of the people he was wrapped around. You know, no one wants to muck about with them people, because you're going to go missing. You know what I mean? So, but the people that did muck about, they got well obliged. You know, got well obliged. Um, every Friday night and a Saturday night, and when I met Gary and his brother when he was fighting Eubanks, and I used to, even when Gary Stretch he went out with Lionel Blair's daughter, Lionel Blair the dancer. He went out with his daughter. She was one sort, mate. She was absolutely stunning. And I remember this guy, this half-caste guy, light-skinned fella, whatever he was, yeah. He tried to take liberties with her, you know. Gary Stretch is just nice, polite. He was modelling then as well. He looked the part, didn't look like he could do anything, you know. The guy just took liberties, told Gary where to get off. I was there. I thought Mickey told me just to sit down, leave it. It's all right. It isn't going to go nowhere. And 2 seconds, crash, it went, and Gary just annihilated the guy. The geezer was a big guy, you know. But Gary hit him so many times. He must have hit him 10 times, mate. You know, just smashed him. Really just smashed him to pieces. The guy just slid down the table. Do you know what I mean? Got hold of the table and just the table tipped over and the guy slipped down. Do you know what I mean? I said, well, don't go. We got to get out of here a bit quick. But my mate Mickey, he was the one. He ruled the roost, Mickey. Everybody respected him. No one ever took liberties. Me being wrapped around Mickey all the time. I was with Mickey 24/7. Everywhere he went, I went. You know, everywhere. He didn't go anywhere without me going there. You know, and I was always gutted for Gary, because when Gary fought Eubanks, he got knocked for the money. I'm not quite sure it was Hearns or Warren. I think it was Warren that mucked him up for the money, but he never got his money. So obviously I was still. I mean, that's like years and years ago, isn't it? You know what I mean? But we was talking about it the other day, me and Gary on the phone, and I said, the chance of you getting the money now is virtually impossible, isn't it, mate? Do you know what I mean? And he don't think it is. He thinks, no, he said, I'll get it, mate. Well, one way or the other, I'll get it, mate. They got to pay me for the fight with Eubanks. I mean, seriously, when we was at the weigh-in, I was at the weigh-in with Jimmy Tibbs. Jimmy Tibbs was Gary Stretch's trainer. Gary Stretch said Jimmy Tibbs was the greatest trainer that he's ever had. The geezer never give up on you. You know what I mean? He never give up, and he trained you and trained you and trained you. But as Jimmy said, he thinks that Gary Stretch took the fight too quick. I know it was put on him to take the fight with Eubanks, but he wasn't given enough time to train. I think 6 weeks, something like that. Gary Stretch needed at least 3 months. If you're fighting for a title and you're fighting for a person like Eubanks, Eubanks was a machine. You know, he was a machine that when he hit you, he hit you straight. He followed straight through to the other side of your body, and when he hit you on the chin, I mean, look at him and what's he called it? Him and Nigel Benn when they boxed. Them fights were great fights, great fights, mate. You know, and Gary Stretch has got the utmost love for Eubanks and also for Nigel Benn. He said Nigel Benn was an animal. You know, he was an animal. He was a guy that was always 100% fit. He was. I mean, I remember Nigel at the Barbican when he come down a few times, and I was down there, and it become a mate of mine, become a good friend, Nigel Benn, you know. And Nigel Benn was a person that was not a liberty taker. He could be, but he wasn't. I mean, you know, he didn't go out of his way to cause problems, even though some people bully with ease, yeah? Some people bully with the face. Yeah, Nigel could bully with the face. Nigel could bully with the face. He could look at you and bully you, yeah? And you knew, just by that face, that you was in trouble. So, yeah, I suppose he was a bully in that respect, but not with ease. He didn't have to bully anybody with that. It was his face. When he looks at you, Nigel Benn, you knew that you could be in trouble. Yeah, mate. And I used to like being around him when I was down at Barbican. I used to talk to Nigel. Love talking to Nigel Benn, you know. And it's nice to be around them people. Now it's all gone, isn't it? It's like the atmosphere, everything's gone now. And who is there? Who is there now to, you know, there isn't many people. There isn't many people that can do this on YouTube and talk about these fighters like me, you know what I mean? That I've been there with them. And talk about other things, or being wrapped around, Lenny McLean's War, sure, all them. There isn't anybody else. a long time. It makes me feel really old. Yeah, but I've had a good life, you know what I mean? I've had a really good life, you know. Honestly, it's like, a lot, a lot of people say, you've got to be a mug to go in prison. Yeah, mate, 100%. You've got to be a mug to go in prison. But sometimes people that go in prison can look after themselves, mate, make themselves. And like me, I went in prison and I looked after myself. I trained all the time, 24/7, and I talked to the right people. Found out a lot that I wanted to do, and I come out and I've done it. Yeah, I come out of prison and I've done it. And I met nice people. Would I have met them people before? No, I doubt it very much. If I hadn't gone to prison and trained like I trained, I remember being in Chelmsford prison. Forget the guy's name. A white, nice guy, well-known fella. I used to knock about with Joe. I forget his name now, but he said to me, Ray, he said, I don't know why you don't go on the yachts. When you come out of Chelmsford prison, go on the yachts, mate. He said, they love you, mate. I was not just, I keep saying it, I was massive. My deltoids were huge, massive great big deltoids, massive great big arms, you know what I mean? Chest was huge. Because all I used to do all day was train, and nothing else to do. Work and train, So when I was to work, finish my work, go down to the gym, have my milk, have my yeast, eat a lot of nice food, you're going to get huge, you're going to get big, It goes without saying, you're going to get big, and prison was good for me, mate. Was good for me. In a way, I'm pleased. Certain times of my life that I went in prison to learn a lot, meet a lot of people, and get educated. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to me was the education that I learned. And when I was in that Bible, years ago, me, Chrissy Lambiano, and they said to Chrissy Lambiano, do you think that you learned a lesson? Would you ever do it again? And Chrissy Lambiano went into the Jesus thing and all that game, and all that, the Bible and the crap and all that, and you see God and all that in prison and all that, yeah. And they asked me if I've learnt my lesson, and would I ever go back in prison? I said, if I'd have learnt my lesson, I'd never gone back in prison. I'd never gone back in prison. I went back in prison because I never learnt my lesson. I never learnt my lesson. I went in there and come out, and then went in there again and come out, and went in there again and come out, because I was looking for something. And I found something at the end. At the end of it was too late. It was too late, and then I went back again. But when they gave me my IPP, that was the time I called it a day. Yeah, when I got my IPP, it was a day that I called it. I thought, that was it. Because when you're in prison and you're doing a life sentence of 99 years, a life of 99 years, and you've got no idea when you're going to be released, I think that's the time to start realising prison ain't good for me. It ain't good for me, mate, And, but all the other times, I said to myself, well, have I learnt my lesson? No. Because if I learnt my lesson, I wouldn't keep going back. And Chrissy said, Lambiano said, he learnt his lesson through the Bible, through God and all this, that and the other. And maybe he's right. Maybe someone spoke to him and made him change his mind. Maybe come out of prison and change his mind. But he didn't. I've got to say something really. Chrissy Lambiano and Tony Lambiano, all that little firm, didn't really do much. I know there was wrapped around the Krays, but they didn't really do much. I mean, what did they do? You know, Jack the Apple. That was it. You know, and about 20 people got nicked over Jack the Apple turnout. You know what I mean? Other than that, what was there? What was there? The turnout, Jack Cornell, was it? Was it Jack Cornell or whatever? Blew his head off in the pub. That was all down to come on, what all that lot got nicked for nothing, for no one. The Krays put it all on them. The Krays put it all on them. You know, they should not have got put in prison. They should not have got, maybe for a couple of months or a couple of years, not for the amount of time, 19, 20 odd years. You know what I mean? For whatever, being there at the wrong time, you know, being there somewhere at the wrong time, it's too late to get out of it. You know, if you're in a room and someone's getting killed, what are you supposed to do, mate? What are you supposed to do? You're in there. You don't want to be there. You're in there though. What are you supposed to do? Try and stop it, and then get stabbed to death yourself? So you just got to wipe your mouth and stay there until it's all over. And that's what they did. That's what they did. What did they do? Rob a few people, go around people's houses, nicked a few bob here and there, give it to the Krays. That's all they did. They didn't have to get all that bird, but they got 20 years, 21 years. The Krays put them in it, mate. The Krays put them in it, you know. I've got a fly who's driving me mad. He keeps coming around me, biting my arms and trying to do my face. I'll catch him in a minute. Once I do this video, he's got it. He's going to get it. I'm going to get it. He's going to get it from me, this fly. He's taking the liberties, you know what I mean? Yeah, so, I started talking about Gary Stretch. Went into one there about the Krays and bits and pieces. But Gary Stretch, mate, he's such a nice guy, you know. Don't cause no problems. Listen, everybody wants to be big time Charlie Potatoes and say what they did to Gary Stretch and this, that, the other Gary Stretch. All talking a load of shit. To me, personally, knowing Gary Stretch, to me, I've never known Gary face to face to lie to me. He hasn't got no reason to lie to me. You know what I mean? I look after Gary Stretch. I used to look after Gary Stretch. He ain't got no reason to lie to me, mate. If he got a good hiding, he'd say he got a good hiding. You know what I mean? It's when you thought Eubanks, he said to me, Ray, Eubanks is an animal. His hands are twice as big as mine. And when he hits you, it's like being hit with a sledgehammer. You know, and he said, you know, the only way to beat him is to box him. You cannot fight Eubanks. And, you know, he's just an animal. And he was saying to me now he said to me, Eubanks now is like a cruiserweight and his body's crisp. He's got no fat on his body. He's like a cruiserweight, Eubanks. He's really muscular and big, you know, and that is how he is. He'll always be that way, Eubanks. He'll always be that muscular person, no fat, no shit on him whatsoever, you know. And Gary Stretch says, mate, that geezer hits you like a mule, you know. He's like a young heavyweight, cruiserweight crash. You know, when I fought him, he's like, when he hit you, you knew. You want to stay away from me. You don't want to get too many punches from him. You know what I mean? I can understand how he feels. I mean, how many times there's people out there just listening to him now that have got in the ring with someone, yeah, or mucked about with someone, and someone's giving him a dig, and you think, oh, I don't want to any of them. That's like Gary Stretch. Anyway, look, bang, bang, rail, just a little podcast, little video. Please like and subscribe, and nice one. Thank you.